GM friends, and thanks for joining DeFi-Logic's TA Saturday, every Saturday at 12 p. Mountain Time. DeFi-Logic is the crypto tank for better decisions. In today's community call, we'll review charts for SOL, Solana, a community request members in the servers have been trading it recently. Link, a lot of market news in the last few months and recent price action. BCB, up and coming on-chain crypto casino. SPX, a large index in the world, summarizes legacy markets. DYX, some debatable correlation with DYX and crypto in general. BTC, of course, the largest coin. And finally, XRP, relating to SEC versus Ripple news. And let's get started. Over to you, Cryptix.
Here we go then. Just to make sure everyone can see my screen. Thanks for that little introduction, Christine. So yeah, we're going to be looking at BCB, Link, SOL, XRP, and I'm going to do a quick brief mention on Ethereum and Bitcoin. So let's go straight to the big market cap ones, Ethereum and Bitcoin. Well, there's not actually very much to say about them. They're not exciting me at all, if I'm honest with you. If you look at Bitcoin, we had this very choppy diamond top formation that we've now broken down from. So ultimately, my bias from here is probably down now. So if I get rid of all these, I'm expecting fully now that we've broken from this. I'm just seeing some, I'm just seeing an overall lack of demand, really. Unless there's some big buyer out there that decides to pump it, I'm ultimately expecting a retest of this level. So 28,314 is the level that's marked out. I'd be buying some more spot at this level, ready for another high up, maybe take some profit here and just take profit along the way like that. If we keep breaking down further, I'm fully expecting this level to be retested as well, but probably front run a little bit based off of this kind of trend line here. Potentially over the course, you could probably see just under the level like that. But that's Bitcoin. I'm not really seeing much upside from this point now. It looks very exhausted from a buyer's point of view. Go back to Ethereum. It's the same with Ethereum. I've been very disinterested in the whole move up in the last couple of weeks, really. I fully expected at least this top here to be taken out as some sort of, as a minimum, I would have expected this top to have reached this level, maybe here, back down. But this kind of ascending wedge gives me kind of vibes that we're going to end up breaking down from this uptrend, retest, and then ultimately come back down like that. So it's kind of just a scalp at the moment. You can long-term spot buy, but if you are scalping this, you're better off using the indicators and the 15-minute time frame to aid in your decision making. So yeah, there's not much really to say about Ethereum and Bitcoin, but I'm fully expecting that we start to break down now due to the lack of demand. There's also a descending volume on ETH here, as you can see at the bottom, with an increase in price, so that even further supports a breakdown at this stage. So let's go on to blockchain bets. It looks super bullish, actually. I'm shocked to see that this supply area has been completely overturned. But what's worrying me is this kind of curve formation. So as we've broken out, let's get rid of that. As we've broken out, we've kind of curved over and coming back down. So this strikes me as some sort of deviation or potential deviation. So we're either now going to revisit this area here and consolidate and then go higher for a higher high, or it's going to be kind of like an over and under pattern. So we'll go over as like this, we'll go under, we'll retest this little bit of point of inflection here for then further downside. My bias at the moment, given the news with all of like the blockchain casinos and everything like that, is that we actually retest this level and we continue further up. So I did say earlier that to sell here, which I still completely stand by because you cannot beat taking profits. So I hope anyone that's held BCB has actually taken profits here. But if it comes back into this area and you see some demand forming, some buys coming in, then I would certainly get back into it and then ride it back up. But if we lose this level, you may as well cut your losses and rebuy potentially. I'd say actually let's draw a new level now. I'd say perhaps this level would be a good level to buy around about 0.008. If it didn't come to this buy zone previously, I don't think it's going to come back to this buy zone now, unless there's some sort of catalyst for the asset. You know, maybe the company's going bankrupt or something like that. So it's super bullish. Watch this area and potentially get back in for further upside. Now let's look at Link. So with Link, I wanted to actually do the T8 live for you guys. So as I've said right at the start, I always start on the monthly time frame and work my way down. So let's create some levels first. So I like to use the close of the candle to mark my levels. So we start from left to right. So let's have a look at this. We've got a level here, but it looks like this entire market structure has front run this level. So we'll move it up and we'll go to this level here. That's now a major support. Zoom out a little bit. Let's make another level there. We'll have another level there. Let's go. Let's be cautious and go here in case we get a pump. Yeah, I think that should do it. Let's change these colors to resistance, and we'll keep these as resistance now. These two are going to be resistance as well, but that's if we actually get up here. So we've had a major pump here, but ultimately we're still range bound. We've had all these pumps before in the monthly candles. So based on my TA, looking at this, we're still range bound. So I'm expecting fully to come back here. The only thing that's pretty much going to avoid this bias is if this candle for the monthly close actually closes in this range. If we close the monthly in this range, it looks to me that we'll go straight back up to this monthly resistance at 9.707. Let's go to the daily and let's have a look at how we are reacting on the lower time frames. Let's have a look, zoom out. Yeah, so it's range bound, completely range bound. This just looks like another deviation as we've seen here. And we're starting to close underneath this here. So if we start to close back under here, we're going ultimately back down to 5.485. If we close here in this range multiple times, and like I've said with the monthly, if the monthly closes in this range, then I would expect continuation up to this resistance level here at 9.707. But yeah, looking at this, it is literally just range bound. I wouldn't be buying here because this just looks like a small deviation to me. Let's go to a even lower time frame. Yeah, I mean, if you go to the lower time frames, go even lower. Let's go to 1 hour. This is a standard bearish retest here. So looking at this just from a quick perspective, that was a clear bearish retest. This supports my idea that it was a deviation. So it looks to me like we're going back down. Still not a short, because I wouldn't short anything like this, especially given the SEC news with the Ripple case, considering, it's not a security. Alts at the moment are quite bullish, so I wouldn't be shorting anything unless I had super high conviction. I'd probably short at this resistance level at 9.707, only because I'd probably front run it a little bit. Let's move that down a bit now. Let's go to here. Yeah, I would only be shorting here simply because it's rejected so many times. So it's a very strong resistance level. So at the moment, we're not really in a position to make any sort of trade. It's more observation. Only if we start to close in this range would I potentially long for a take profit up at the monthly resistance there. But that's not actually a bad trade because this is on the higher time frame. Where is it? Let's get that. There we go. That's actually like that's a nice 17% gain if we start to consolidate in this region. But yeah, that's something to watch out for with Link. Let's go to Sol. So Solana, we've got no levels again, so we're going to do this live. Let's go to the month. Right, where can we see some reactions? So we've got a clear reaction there. Let's go up a little bit. Let's go to there. And we've got another one. Very strong one, actually. Very strong level here. And we've got another strong level here. Okay, let's go down to the lower time frame. So Sol, again, is another thing that's range bound. Everything is pretty much range bound in this market, looking at the charts. Any pump, treat it with aggressive profit taking. I mean, look at this little daily candle on Solana here. It was completely absorbed. Kind of looks like one of those inverted hammers. So I'm fully expecting Solana now to come back to the 14.02 level. Or actually looking at this, is it retesting this level? It might actually now be a good long. Yes, I think this might be a good long now. If you're doing spot, it looks like we're retesting this level after a full breakout with volume. So looking at this, it could be a nice higher time frame long. So if you were a support and resistance trader, you could probably long this now. Let's take the stop loss. Stop loss is going to be tricky, probably below here. It's a very wide stop loss. Let's probably go below this order block. That's a slight order block there. And take profit. Let's go from this level. Let's go all the way up to here. So that's a nice 2.63 risk to reward. I probably have 2 take profits, to be honest, take profit at each level, and I'd take full profit at this range. I don't think we're going to go up to the 43 level, unless the bull run starts or Solana gets some major catalyst. But it's certainly a good idea for a long here, but I'd only enter with spot. I might DCA, to be fair. I'd probably DCA from the entry here up to around this level here. So a nice 10 to 13% DCA. Spread your bids. Lower your average price down, because what we could see is some sort of retest. Shorts are going to think this is a bearish retest, then they'll get blown out. Take these stops here. Make sure to take profit here. Now we'll either just run the stops, go back down, or we'll continue up like that. So take profit here, set stop loss to break even. So that's your setup there. It's be nice to see how this plays out on the next week's stream. It's not an area for shorting, as again, alts are bullish at the moment, unless of course the SEC win their appeal, which I've read they're going to be appealing the judges' decisions. So, but that's SOL, yeah, it looks primed for a long. It's looking better than Link, I'll be honest. Be careful. Obviously, if it gets to this range, make sure you have a stop loss in place. Don't go too heavy, and make sure it's spot only, no leverage. But yeah, if it comes down to this level, it's probably going to keep going back down to this lower range here, which I would personally be loading quite heavily on. If it comes to here, load up on spot quite heavily and then just ride it out. But that's pretty much it for the request. Now, I want to finish off by showing you a little something with XRP. So I've been working tirelessly for the past couple of weeks on basically how to trade XRP, and given the volatile news with the SEC, it's prime now to actually make some very good trades off. And so if I go, it's more of a, this is going to be scalp trades. If I go down to the 15-minute time frame, so this is a lower time frame play, and let's activate the new strategy. So if I activate this strategy, I want to show you the statistics that I've made. So this is the equity curve on XRP. So in the past 6 months, with a starting capital of 1,000, you would have made $5,748. That's unleveraged, and the strategy itself has a 91.92% win rate with a 5.8 profit factor. So this is actually far exceeded any strategy that I've created so far. It's exceeding the Ethereum strategy, and you know it's primed because of the volatility to actually make some really good trades. We're currently in a short at the moment. Let me activate the actual indicator. So it looks to me, yes, so we've actually just kind of won this trade here. So if this candle closes in the next minute, that's another short that's been won. It's a 2 take profit system. So we shorted up here. That was the first take profit, went up. You could have re-entered. Another take profit, and this is actually just completely bypassed the 2 take profit system. It's going for the full 2 take profits here, which is really good. If you look at the curve, it's a smooth ass curve. A little bit of drawdown. There's a 13.22% total drawdown on the strategy, so be careful with leverage. I'd probably go no more than perhaps 2 to 3 times leverage. Keep your capital minimal, just while it's still being tested on the live trades. But you should start to see these alerts come in now through the Sense from the Sense portion of the Discord server, and it's a secondary product that I'll be giving to people in the alpha testing for free, just while we test it out. So make sure you pop your TradingView username into the channel and I can give you access. So let's just wait 9 seconds and let's just see how we exit this short. But it's a very good strategy so far. I'm thoroughly impressed with the back testing. There we go. And that is the alert that's come through. And that should have, yep, that's come through to the Discord server as well. So that's really good. So yeah, that's what I wanted to share everybody on XRP. And those are the other charts that I've done as well.
So you kind of rocked them with that last one. That's awesome. And the that is available for all of the Discord members. And you can drop your TradingView tag inside of the chat channel, and we'll get you set up to test out these indicators. Thank you, Cryptix, and we'll pass it over to GForce for the legacy markets.
Thanks, Christine. Cryptix, that was great. We're going to double up on a couple tickers and like Bitcoin and also XRP. We're going to, I'll cover that as well. So we'll see how we coordinate on that. So as we talked about previously, I cover legacy markets, the S&P 500, which obviously is the largest index globally and also summarizes most other indexes and legacy markets. So I'm going to go back to the SPX, which is the S&P 500 index, and we'll look at that right now. So the S&P 500 has just been going up 52-week highs, the new one every week. In the past couple weeks, it has gone up to new highs, and you can look. I put in Bollinger Bands, and you look at that. It's just been going up this upper band constantly for the last 2 weeks. 2 weeks ago on a Monday, it popped off from the mean, which is the black line here, and it's just run up ever since. It's just ramped up, keeps ramping up. It pulled back a little bit on Thursday and also on Friday, but not much. So this is, I'm kind of sounding like I'm repeating myself over and over again for the last few weeks, because way back here at the first part of June, it flattened out and then it ran up at the end of June, pulled back at the very end, and then it's gone up first part of July, pulled back a little bit, and it's gone up ever since. I'm expecting a pullback sometime. Should pull back to the black line here, which is standard deviation. But the standard deviation line also keeps going up. So because basically with Bollinger Bands, it's a live indicator, and it works with actual timing on a minute or a daily trade, whichever that you have the chart set for. I have all my charts set for dailies. I like daily charts, and so every chart I'm going to show you today will be a daily chart. So that's the S&P 500. I will flip now to the DXY. A lot of people like the dollar index because it has an inverse correlation with crypto. A lot of crypto tokens and coins, Bitcoin, Ether. So I've been covering DXY for the last few weeks. You can see it's tanked, and then it's gone beyond the 3x standard deviation band here, and it's flattened out, and then it's rallying back. A lot of people are saying, well, that's why it's doing this. It's rallied back because crypto's going down. That's debatable, and that could be a possibility. But I will believe and I expect as the mean line, the standard deviation line keeps coming down, this price action they're going to meet either next week or the following week, but they're going to meet. Then at that point in time, we're going to see how things go. It could go back down again. Don't know. There's a lot of crypto news out there with the Ripple case, SEC versus Ripple, SEC versus Coinbase, SEC versus Binance, SEC versus Terra Luna. As you can tell, they're going after everything. So a lot of news out there. The next chart is Bitcoin, and not much happening. Cryptix and I both had this diamond pattern at the middle of June all the way to the middle of July, and then it had some bounce on the Ripple news, and then it's come back down, and it just keeps fading. It's just going to probably just continue to fade until we get some sort of clarity. The SEC, as Cryptix said, is supposed to appeal the decision. I don't know if they're going to be successful on that. Just because a federal judge doesn't give you the decision you want, even if you're at the SEC, it doesn't really mean you're going to get granted an appeal. So we'll see how that goes. And that coordinates to my next chart, which is XRP. This is a weekly chart, so I could get everything in, because this chart goes all the way back to 2021. And you can see at 2021, it goes up. It had a high. Basically, I like closes, not these wicks, but I like to mark my support and resistance lines at closes, and also highs, but pretty much closes is the best way for me. So this top line is 1.55, and then the next line down is 1.38, and then this line where it's trading actively is at 0.855. Again, it's not a verdict, it's not a final decision, it's just a ruling. So the next chart is a daily chart, and you'll see how it did go up to 8.5, 8.55, and it's come back down. It's gone back up and wicked at 0.85 again. The next day wicked up at 0.85 again, and then it has fallen back. So this is obviously a daily resistance at 0.85. I would think that any good news, it will bust back up to and blow through that 0.85, and then the next target would be the 1.38, which is my second line here. So we'll see how the news goes. We'll see how the news goes on the case. I know everybody's going to be following that, but I am, that's for sure. It's very interesting to see what's going to happen. So that is my TA for today, and thank you very much. I'll hand it over to Christine.
Thank you, GForce. And that's it for this week. Remember, as a member of DeFi-Logic, you can post requests in the Daily Dose forum, and we'll review your coins, assets, and tradable proxies in the next call. Also, DeFi-Logic members interested in alpha testing our new ETH spotting trading indicator and new XRP strategy developed by Cryptix. The service is free until we launch. Thanks for joining, and we'll see you at 12 p. Mountain Time next week. GN friends.
Join us next week in Discord for TA Saturday at DeFiLogic.com.